So, my name is Leah, but my alias is Persephone. You can call me whichever you prefer. Be sure to follow me and subscribe on my platforms, and my link tree will be in the description. So I did originally announce that I would be releasing a new episode first for my On Ivy Street series before I gave you guys the 500 subscriber special, but I'm having technical issues, and also now I'm struggling with motivation and inspiration. So I don't want you guys to wait for the special just because I'm having a little bit of trouble with the third episode. So I've decided to go ahead and post the 500 subscriber special anyways. By the way, thank you guys for 500 subscribers on YouTube and 1,000 followers on TikTok. I do want to go over a couple of things. I am now a partner of Instant Gaming, and if you guys don't know what Instant Gaming is, it is basically a online key reseller that sells digital video games and offers discounts on a wide range of titles. You can get The Sims 4 game packs for a discounted price, and they have a lot of good deals. I will have my affiliate link in the description and also in my link tree. The other thing that I do want to point out is that, disclaimer, this video focuses purely on visual quality, so this will not include overrides or mods for anything realistic or aesthetic. This is purely just focusing on what I do to get high quality. I do have a 1,000 subscriber special planned, that being a creator academy. I am not a professional. I don't want it to be taken that way. I simply want it to be a reference and resource point to getting started, because in the Sims community, I do feel like there's a lot of gatekeeping around that topic. I will be going over how to take thumbnails, how to do machinimas, how to edit, and it is planned to be around 6 parts. So there will be 6 parts going into depth about the process and ways to get started. The first step that you may want to take is to optimize your game. Now, this depends on the graphics card that you have. I have a NVIDIA GeForce graphics card, so I can use the NVIDIA app. If you don't have that, this won't apply to you, but if you do, you can optimize your game. Now, as you can see, my game isn't optimized because I have custom settings for my game, so I don't want to override it by optimizing it. And alongside that, optimizing your game can actually cause it to stutter and have issues. So in order to make sure that your game isn't optimized, you can go to your Windows, and once you search up graphics settings, you will go here and see optimization for windowed games, reduce latency, and use advanced features in compatible games by using flip presentation model. I have this switched off because it can be counterproductive to what you want. I also use some settings in the NVIDIA control panel that I've tweaked. Now, before I even go into detail about this, I do want to point out that your graphics card does matter and play a big role in the quality that you will get. I use the 3060 Ti. If you use anything of that caliber or around that caliber, you should be able to get similar graphics. But if you are playing on a computer that may not be able to handle that, you can't expect the same quality out of it. So if you go into manage 3D settings and you go to program settings, I'm going to click Sims 4, and if you don't already have it selected, you can just scroll through until you find it, or just click add program and go through and manually select Sims 4. From there, you can fiddle with the anti-aliasing, which I feel like for me is the most important part, because I did struggle with having running vertical lines, and fixing this required me to go into these settings and tweak and play around with this. One of the, not really mods, but I don't really know how to explain it. One of the things that I do enjoy using to boost up my quality is Sim4Sims Overhaul 2, which is the NVIDIA profile inspector. Again, as it kind of explains itself, it's something that you will have to need NVIDIA for. Make sure that you know what you're doing with your game, and it basically does say that, so this post is only applicable to people with NVIDIA GPUs. There are 4 profiles. One is for performance. This is better for low-end machines, and it allows you more frames per second. Balanced means that there's some anti-aliasing and some visual enhancements. Balance Plus, a little bit more visual enhancements, is recommended if you have 4 gigabytes of RAM on your GPU. And then Ultra, which is best visual enhancements, you need to have a minimum of 6 gigabytes RAM for your GPU. Now, if you do have a PC or even a gaming laptop, most times it'll have a dedicated GPU. If you have a regular everyday work office business laptop, you might not have a dedicated GPU. You'll have to play around and see what best suits your computer. For mine, it is a custom build, so I am able to use the Ultra because I know that my GPU has at least 6 gigabytes of virtual RAM. So what you'll do is you will install the NVIDIA Profile Inspector. Of course, everything is provided. You can click here for the zip file and install it. And then also be sure to install the profile that you want to use. If you don't have the NVIDIA graphics card, you won't be able to do this, but what you basically will do is go down and you can either find it here, or if you have the preset already downloaded, you can just drag that preset into this inspector and it'll automatically set everything. So I'm just going to drag it over here, and if you'll see, it'll say profile successfully imported. You click OK, and then everything should be set for The Sims 4. Another not really mod but more game edit that I do use is again by Sim4Sims, and I really recommend a lot of their edits in order to make your game high quality, but I have their Sims graphics rules. This one is a little bit more complicated. I'm gonna go to the latest release, and it's called Sims Graphics Rules Override. It's a little bit complicated, like I said. If you do the already preset versions, it'll be quick and easy, but if you want to customize the way that it tweaks your game, that's where it gets a little bit tricky. If you don't know what you're doing, I would recommend just going with the presets. If you do know what you're doing, you're a little bit more advanced, then go for it by all means. Just be careful. So there are 2 download links. It says choose only one. You can go with this one or the one that has alt clipping. Also, they recommend Mazoriyuki's No Fade on Everything mod. I have this mod as well, so it works for me. And then there's also installation instructions on how to download this if you have Windows or if you have Mac. So I am currently so busy in life right now, not to complain. I'm happy with the direction that things are going, but this is my probably 20th time trying to record this part, and my audio so much technical difficulties. So I'm gonna voice over this part because yeah. So the first thing, as far as game options, you'll want to make sure that you have the correct display type. You'll want to do full screen because that'll give you the highest resolution, but since I'm recording, I tend to use windowed, so I can easily toggle between windows. You'll also want to select the highest resolution that you can possible, and don't worry about refresh rate or vertical sync. You'll want to select the highest graphics quality that your PC or laptop can handle. I selected Ultra. The only reason it says custom is because I toggled off my edge smoothing. If you use reshade or gshade, you'll want to turn off your edge smoothing if you use the MXAO shader, because without that off, it won't work. However, that is what causes the jagged lines and running edges, because the edge smoothing smooths out the edges, which prevents what you'll see in the future. Now, aside from that, everything is set to high. Sims is set to very high. Everything is set to the highest setting that it can possibly be set to, just because I know what my computer can and can't handle, and it is a custom build, so I am able to select these settings. Now, you don't have to follow everything in this whole video, T for T, I for I. Literally do what you can and leave what you can't throughout the whole video, honestly. You'll want to check HQ sim textures, or it may say uncompressed sim textures. You'll want to check that because it will generate higher quality images and textures to project onto the meshes. You will also want to toggle on post-processing effects. It will handle the lighting, shadows, things of that nature, and in my opinion, it gives it so much more quality. And I know a lot of you guys may not be compatible with this, but I did switch over to DirectX 11 a while ago, and honestly, it did wonders for my lighting and shadows. Again, if it's not compatible with your PC or it can't handle it, don't do it. But if it can, bite the bullet and just do the update, honestly, because I'm trying to put you on. So here I am on a residential lot, and as you can see, these are the jagged edges I was talking about that happens when you turn off edge smoothing. And as you can see, it just kind of runs across the screen. If you have edge smoothing on, you won't have this issue. Also, if you play full screen, it'll be less visible and emphasized, but since I'm doing both of those things, you can really see the flaws in my game right now. With gshade or reshade. You can search up sharpening, and I'm gonna just go with filmic sharpen since that's just the quickest one and, you know, just easiest and convenient. And you can just turn this up or down depending on how sharp you want these things to be. And also I feel like you can fake quality with the clarity shader as well. What I'm gonna do is just kind of turn this up and then turn the sharpen up as well, and see the difference that you already get with just these. So this is with the shader on, and this is with it off. It already has a sort of high quality look to it, and then if I add the MXAO on, it looks even better. So let's add the MXAO. And it already looks much more higher quality than it did before. It just looks so much more, I don't even know, crisp or livelier. Now, obviously, because I do have my own personal preset, it's going to look vastly different. This is the one that I have, so it looks different, and the color rating is different as well. But it looks the same as everybody else's without the gshade or shaders on. And then when I turn it on, that's how I get my signature look. So I do have my sim self currently taking a rest right now, but one thing that I do quickly want to say is the HQ mod can make your textures bigger. Now, I'm not sure if there was an update that allowed you to do so without downloading the mod, but I don't know, I still have it in my game, so do with that information what you want. The first mod that I have that allows me crisp visuals is the enhanced sim thumbnails. It allows my Sims thumbnails to be higher quality and less pixelated or blurry. It's just a minor tweak, but for me, minor tweaks add up into bigger things. The next thing is the improved phone camera. So I'm gonna have my Sim go ahead and take a selfie. We're just gonna do it like this, okay? And zoom out a little bit because I like to have the background in the photo. And we're just gonna take a picture like this. And let's take another one. This one is cute. Okay, this one is also cute. And honestly, that's enough to just showcase because I think we already have 3. So once you take that selfie, of course, the pictures will go into your inventory like usual. But the difference is once you put them up, they are so much better quality. Like, it looks like I took the pictures as a screenshot and not on actual phone. Because if you know, on the phone, it's like super pixelated. You can barely make anything out. But with this mod, they are the same quality as your computer screen shows you. Like, there's no lying. So aside from that, there's nothing really else that I do to make my game higher quality. It's just compiling all the things that I've just shown you guys in this video together to make what I have here. Psych! This is kind of another bonus trick that I figured out myself through, I don't even know, but if you have NVIDIA, you will have an NVIDIA control panel. If you go to your control panel, you should be able to go to change resolution. I currently play on a 1080p monitor, but I am basically faking 4K resolution on my 1080p monitor to get higher quality. If I go to manage 3D settings and I go to global settings, I can scroll down until I see DSR factors. Once you go there, you'll want to scroll down until you see 4 times. It'll say 3840 by 2160, which is 4K resolution. You'll select that and then go to change resolution, and the option under dynamic super resolution should pop up, and I basically just selected this. So that's how I get 4K resolution, but it is not true 4K. It is simply faking it. Standing next to actual 4K visuals, it will not look the same, but it will definitely look more higher quality than the standard 1080p that you have. Excuse the change in my voice, but that is basically everything that I do to get the quality that I get. I feel like a lot of the things that I covered, everyone already knows how to do, but I did get a few questions about that, so I thought, why not make a video? And maybe it'll help someone who doesn't already know.